Okay. What's going on? All right. It's fine. Where? And I'm live and everything is messy. Okay. It's 5 o'clock. Let's go. Alrighty. Hello, everybody. Guys, today I said, let me put on my red lip. Let me look like the girl boss that I am. And now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh my gosh, this feels so out of place. But we're doing it anyway. Hello, everybody. Happy Thursday. Happy pre-weekend. You know what I was thinking about? I was thinking about the fact that it would be so nice. It would be so nice to have a theme song for the show. You know what I've been toying with? Through this journey of discovery, finding you and finding me. Oh, now that I have something special that brings out the joy, more inside of me. We can become whatever we want. All we need is to find our purpose. Woo! Hello, guys. I'm Konoku. That's the way I feel it should be. You and me. If you're a 90s kid, if you grew up in that era, you know the song. I've really been thinking about how I can put together a theme song for the show. And that one sounds great. Through this journey of discovery, you know? Okay, but anyway, that's fine. Today, guys, I want to speak to you all about the differences between a traditional career and a purpose-based career. Sipho Ngwenya, hello lover, hello. And I also want to speak about what the challenges are for a lot of people who transition from that traditional career to a purpose-driven career, and also how the strategies on how you can make that transition smooth and successful. I am one to speak on this because I have transitioned my career multiple times. I'm just gonna lower my phone for YouTube so that it captures what I wanted to and not the roof. You know what I mean? Yes, I think that's better. Okay, cool. So yeah, that's what I want to talk about today. I've made copious notes because I've got so much to share. So when I look down, please know that it's because I don't want to leave anything else. Again, my mom is like, you need to start these things off in prayer. So that's exactly what we're going to do. I am going to pray. Ulindo, you are definitely in the weekend mood, my sister. Always. But guys, if there's somebody who's into jingles or who creates music, please create a theme song for the show. The show is the Mpumi show. It's focused on helping you find your purpose and turn it into a profession and thrive in that thing. So please, along the lines of through this journey of discovery, finding you and finding me. Okay, sorry. Let's go. Okay. So let's talk about what the differences between a traditional career and a purpose-driven career are, right? I'll first start by giving the characteristics of a traditional career, and then I'll move to a purpose-driven career. Is that cool? All right. Please don't be afraid to write comments, to ask me questions. We're in this together. This is your show as much as it is mine. All right. So firstly, a traditional career is very financially focused. Let's not even lie, guys. Whenever people think about the kind of work or the kind of industry, the kind of job or career they want to get into, what is their biggest focus? Come on, class. Don't be afraid. What's the biggest focus? Money. And traditional careers are one where you find yourself in corporate or in a government position or government role, and even in certain industries that we know, right? Your law, your accounting, your engineering, all of those things, right? And here's the thing, the primary motivator in a traditional career, exactly, Solomon, chelete, Buddha, chelete. The primary motivator in a traditional career is stability and compensation. You want to make sure that that thing will pay you and it will pay you good. A friend of mine is unashamed to admit that what made him decide to be a mining engineer was he went on a Google search when he was in grade 11 and 12. Which career will make me more money? And Google said engineering. And not just any engineering, mining engineering. And my friend is making very good money. He's now there in Australia, chowing his money very nicely. All right? That's the first one, financial focus. The second one is, again, in line with the financial focus, it's stability and security. People want to know that there's predictable income coming in. I worked at a bank, so every day on the 20th, every month on the 20th, I knew that midnight, ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. So people want a predictable income, people want benefits, and they want a clear career ladder. If it's clear to you that from being an analyst, you will become a specialist, and from being a specialist, you will become a senior specialist, making you a manager, and after that, you become head of sales or head of whatever. People want to know that this is the progression that they want to follow and can follow, all right? The third thing is external expectations. Let's not even lie again. And as I'm saying this, I'm speaking to professionals, right? A lot of these will say, check, 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 because you know it's true. External expectations. We choose careers based on what our society and our family expects or recommends. Everyone who knows my story knows that I always wanted to be a psychologist, right? But when I announced that and when I made the decision, I was told, excuse me, you want to waste your brain listening to people's problems? You're good at math, you're good at science, and my family expected me to do something different, which will bring in the money, number one, but also that is well respected. Like, it's respectable to say I'm an engineer more than it is to say I'm a social worker. I don't think so. Clearly, I don't, because here I am back in what can be known as an HR or human resource function role, because I don't think that one is less respectable than the other. But our society deems certain things more respectable, more honorable, and more safe than others. That is a fact that we cannot deny, right? There was something that came to mind right now, but now I'm forgetting. Oh, here's what it is. And you see this not even in family or societal structures, right? You see this with how certain industries and how certain jobs get compensated in our capitalistic system. A dancer, a musician, an actress, especially in South Africa, all those people who are in the creative space don't really get paid as much as a lawyer, a doctor, an engineer, because these are safer and more respectable, thus they get more compensation. So a lot of us choose our careers based on external expectations. Number 4, traditional careers are characterized by being task-oriented, right? So these roles or these jobs are completely are based on completing tasks and job functions, right? There's really a focus on purpose, really a focus on doing impactful work. As long as we can produce, as long as we can make sure that we service. Hey, man, I heard something so interesting the other day. So I was listening to and they are not paying me for this episode. Let me look this way because it's Mandela's thing. This is Mandela's t-shirt. I don't want to promote anyone other than Utsatsa. Anyway, here's what I was saying, right? I was listening to an interview where they were interviewing Amanda Dambuza. Amanda Dambuza says when she started off her career, she was working at a call center, servicing queries and complaints of pensioners. And they kept telling her that she's doing bad at her job because she was sitting on the call with these grannies and these grandpas for more than 4 minutes. Abagogo, number 1, they talk very slow. They talk slow. Number 2, it takes them a while to get their points across, right? They don't understand terminology. You have to explain certain things to them. You have to try and understand, is this what they're saying? This is the thing, right? So Amanda, with her bleeding heart, is there listening to the grannies, and they were like, yay! You are not meeting your quota because busy on the call for more than 4 minutes with these grannies. Amanda's house is for people, all right? Whether you follow her on social media or you follow her work, you know that her house is for people. So imagine somebody who has got that heart and wants to do that work being told she's doing the work wrong because she is not keeping to time. This is exactly what I mean, right? Task oriented. There's a job function. You do this, and if you don't, it's problematic. I'll talk about it later and how I saw it play out in my own career, and that's how I knew it was time to balega, balega, balega. Okay. The fifth and final one, all right, under traditional careers is hierarchy. These traditional careers have hierarchical structures where employees have number one, limited autonomy, and number two, very little influence over decision making. There's a hierarchy. If you're an analyst, you know that you've got very little contribution or very little influence as opposed to a managing executive. There's a pecking order, right? You can't just do what you want to do. I love watching Grey's Anatomy, and is it Bailey, the doctor who's very who's very Hitler, and she was saying, and then there was this lady, no, this man, old man Norman, who came and was an intern, and the resident Yaka had to be a younger person. And this younger resident was so scared of reprimanding the intern. And Bailey was like, yeah, if you have to shout at this man, shout at him, because there's a pecking order. There are interns, there's residents, there is what comes after attending, and there's chief and all of that. So there's a pecking order everywhere. And that's what happens in traditional careers. You can't just wake up and decide, I think it would be good if we, no. If you have that idea, you give that idea to your manager gives, you know what I mean? Yes, okay. Now let's talk about my favorite, purpose-driven careers. These are characterized by passion and meaning. People who work and pursue purpose-driven careers prioritize passion, they prioritize their values, and they prioritize meaning. Such careers are social entrepreneurship. So I think also what I'm doing is social entrepreneurship, as I'm not sure, because it is entrepreneurship. No, social entrepreneurship, non-profit work, creative endeavors, a whole lot of these careers are very, very, very purpose-based. Okay, the second thing about purpose-driven careers is impact orientation. We want to make sure that we have a positive impact in our society, in our communities, in the lives of individuals, and in the whole world, essentially. We have this strong desire, and we are led by the want and longing to contribute to the greater good of society. The third thing about career-driven professions or careers is that there's intrinsic motivation. There, by traditional, it is what looks respectable in society, what family wants, and what family believes you can do to get them out of poverty. Whereas purpose-driven careers or purpose-driven professions, there's intrinsic motivation, right? And not just intrinsic motivation, but there's a desire and a longing for fulfillment in the work that you do. And what this intrinsic motivation then does, that it allows for that motivation becomes a powerful source of job satisfaction. So the fact that nobody has to tell you what to do, the fact that you can get up out of bed and do what you love to do because you absolutely love it, and it's creating a positive change in the world, that works. So you know what I was thinking about yesterday, just out of transparency. I was thinking about whether or not my fervency and my relentlessness in pursuing my career the way I'm pursuing it now is because I wish that when I was 18, 19, 17, 18, 19, I hadn't listened to the external expectations that told me that engineering was going to work for me, because I always knew. I didn't have a name for I didn't know what my purpose was. I didn't have a name for the type of career, that I would follow, but I knew that I would thrive in any condition or in any career where I develop people. And so I really hope, and I look at these young people now who say, no, I fought and I didn't want anyone to tell me otherwise. I look at them now with so much envy because I'm just like, I wish that at that age I had said no to the voices and I went and studied psychology and opened up my own practice. You guys, to this day, I listen to people's problems and I do a lot of research where psychology is concerned and just how people's brains work and how to be more empathetic. I am this person. I've always been this person. And so there's that intrinsic motivation, right? And I guess now that I've learned so much about myself, I think psychology was not going to work for me really well because I am such an empath. You guys, if you tell me something about you, I will think about it day and night. I will want a solution for it. Yay! I am very empathetic. I carry people's pain. I carry people's pain. And I've learned now that actually being a coach is what I needed and wanted to be. The work that I do now as a coach, that's the term. That's the career. I'm seeing Andy Lingmalo say, hello, Vitsi, hello. Ah man, I love gathering with my people. Utemba Mieni says, that's me, impact oriented. And Temba, I've got a question for you. Are you currently in a traditional career or are you in a purpose driven career? Let me know. Mashudu says, hi Mpumi. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, okay, people will think I'm on drugs because of my energy. The next thing about purpose-driven careers is the flexibility. The flexibility where you get to decide on your work arrangements. You allow yourself to be creative and innovative because here again, it's not about the job function. It's not about a role. It's not about a particular task. It's about impact. It's about the change, right? The positive influence that you have. So here, you're allowed to be as creative as you can and as innovative as you can. When I left, why are you LinkedIn user and you don't have a name? Because I want to call you by your name. LinkedIn user says, I love your energy. I love that I'm so energetic. And this is me all the time. Tomorrow I'm doing a gig. And there'll be executives there and stuff, and I'm like, woo, this girl, she's so high, but this is me. This is me. I was still talking about the flexibility, right? The last project that I did before I left corporate, not the last project, but part of Benicia, hello, my Scotty, hello, my Leafy, who hello. Mashudu, I heard that, right? What's I'm on the weekend mood, guys? This is me all the time. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, as long as I'm doing the work that I love to do, sharing my knowledge, changing people's minds, coaching, speaking, this is me. Unless, you want me to be Debbie Downer, give me something that I don't want to do. I love reading the comments, you guys, and I get so distracted. I see here on YouTube, M says, just pivoted from the traditional career and now I am venturing in what I've always wanted to do. And I love that so much. I love when people take the bold step to pivot. It's hard and I'm going to talk about those challenges, but man oh man is it fulfilling. Benisha says, love being in a purpose-driven career. Benisha is a former client of mine. Oh, Benisha, I shared your story yesterday about how you moved from unemployment to starting your NVR. So exciting. Such exciting things. Oh, Mbonane, you're also working in the bank. Join the club, but they're not sponsoring, so let's hide them. Samgelo Blom, hello sir, thank you so much for joining. This is on LinkedIn. As always, joining for the support and belief of the calling you have been assigned to. Thank you for raising the bar and bringing clarity, strength. Thank you. More mature and seasoned, experienced professionals come on to say, you believe in what you're doing, keep doing it. I love it so much. I love it so much. Thank you so much with Samgelo. All right, the other thing with being in a purpose. Oh, I was about to tell you about the project that I did in the bank. That project. Umashiru says, I am not this energetic except when it's Sabbath and I'm doing Sabbath school or divine service. Listen, I'm energetic all the time, but when I'm doing divine service, I have to be authoritative and powerful. But also, there's no, I don't think there's a distinction, or there should be a distinction between being authoritative and being energetic. I'm energetically authoritative. Let's go. So that project I was doing was for matriculants, and for really just helping them, a springboard. The event was a springboard to them choosing what careers to get into and stuff like that, right? And guys, when I did that thing, I planned that thing. Okay, not really planned, but I put together the program. I was the facilitator on that day. And the fact that I had such free reign to do whatever, invite whoever, and do that thing well, for me was very beautiful. And that speaks to following a purpose driven career instead of a, this is the function, this is the role, these are the KPIs. No, 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 no. The second last thing about being in a purpose driven career is the autonomy. You have control over your work. Yo, guys, let me tell you a story. So, before I left the bank, I was a product development specialist, right? And what happened then was so there was a restructuring that happened, I think 2 years or a year before I left. Restructuring within the team, within the business units. And I spoke to my boss and I was like, listen, I don't want to be in the technical stuff. I can't do it. I'm competent, but I don't think you'll get the best utility out of me. And I certainly won't enjoy my work. Put me in a role put me in a space or a role that will see me helping people do their jobs better. So in a more people-centric role for the team, right? And then I got into that role because I spoke up for myself. Now, I know why I got into that role, right? I know myself. I know that I'm not just here to, oh yeah, this is what the role desires. I wanted people to really come alive and come out. And so then I remember speaking to my manager this one time, and I was suggesting that I go to, so I've been trained as a coach, right? I went to training as a coach, and it's a skill that I have, but I wanted to actually get a certification. So I said to him, listen, I want to go get a certification for coaching because I want to do more than my role requires. It was a constant back and forth, like, no, the scope of your work is within product, and if you do anything other than that, and I was so frustrated. I'm just like, you don't get it. I'm not just here to push a ticket. I'm not just here to make sure that people are good product development specialists, but that they are good professionals, and it was such a struggle because the blinkers or blinders were on to say, Mpumi, your job is, I was very frustrated, very, very frustrated. So you're able to make decisions when you're in purpose-driven career. You're able to make decisions aligned with your personal values and your personal goals. You don't feel like you're betraying yourself. You don't feel like you are putting your desires and things that fulfill you on the back burner just to get this career going, right? Let me read what Solomon is saying. Traditional careers often come with certain advantages: 100% stability, which I spoke about right now. Traditional careers often associated with established industries and job roles that have stood the test of time. I spoke about stability now. I spoke about benefits as well, and the path, the career ladder that's given. 100%. You're right, Solomon. And I don't know if you are just reiterating what I've said, just for the advantage of those who came in late, or because you're sharing your own thoughts, but whichever one it is, both of them are welcome. And the last thing is, with a purpose-driven career, there's continuous learning, right? There's ongoing learning and adaptation in order for you to adequately and sufficiently address complex societal challenges, because for you it's about impacting the world and changing societal norms. And so there's continuous learning because things keep developing, things keep getting more complex, we just keep getting into problems, and so you've always got to be well versed in what is happening in society. You've got to be in touch with what's happening on the ground. Now here's what I want to say, right? These characteristics are not always absolute, because number one, we talk about, and Solomon just alluded to it now, that people go for traditional jobs or traditional careers because it's safe. Can I please give you breaking news? No job is safe. No job is safe. I don't care if you work in the bank or you work in accounting, or no job is safe, and we just have to be very honest about that. We saw when when the recession happened in 2009, the people who thought they had their careers on lock lost their jobs. We saw with the pandemic in 2020, 2021, that people lost their jobs. No job is safe. A restructure can happen anytime. And suddenly you were in this role as a geologist, and suddenly they don't want that because they'd rather consult externally. No job is safe, right? And so while the characteristic there is that job security, the truth is no job is safe. But where purpose is concerned, you will always have work to do, because for as long as you breathe, for as long as you are alive, there is use for you. The reason you are brought on this earth is because there is use for you. So while God still sees it fit that you live, it's because there is still use for you. So a purpose-driven career is nice in that it doesn't box you into a role. It doesn't box you into a job title. It doesn't box you into a job function. It opens you up so much because you can do so much. Things change. The situations change, and you're able to adapt and evolve with those changes, right? As well as this, people do find flexibility in traditional jobs. So I spoke now about having flexibility in a purpose-driven career. Truth is, some people, especially those who are higher up in traditional careers, they get to make their own work arrangements. They can go to a funeral in the morning and work in the afternoon. You know, they are allowed to be as creative and innovative as possible. I worked in a bank, and I know that some of the solutions that were brought up were from people from all ranks or all grades of the business. So there's flexibility too as well. And the reason I'm talking about this is that there can be an overlap, right? And speaking about this, I sat down one day and I thought, is there a universe? Is there a universe where I can pursue a passion and a paycheck? Where I can save my family and save the world? Where I can, what is that third thing? Where I can go with creativity and flexibility as well as stability. And I found that that universe is where you align your purpose to your profession, because you are following what God put you on this earth for, but you're also making money from it. You are creating change and creating change, ka-ching, in your bank account. So there is an overlap. There's a universe where you can have passion and meaning, where you can go for financial stability and security, where you can have social impact, where there's continuous learning and autonomy. You are doing your job, but you're not neglecting your purpose, and the two are intertwined so nicely, and you're having a good time. E.g., pick me, teacher. Okay, now let's talk about the challenges. Now, if you're sitting there and you're like, yo, where, I think it's a good idea for me to actually put away what society and family expected of me, to really stop caring that much about making money. Making money is not a bad thing. I love making money. Yay! Making money is very important. But where that isn't just the focus, right? Where you really pursue that nagging of your heart. Because a lot of people who become my clients are people who have had this nagging. This for a long time. We'll say, you know that something is missing. You know that you should be pursuing something else. You know that there's something that beckons at you day by day. You know that there's something you want to do. It keeps calling, right? That calling keeps calling. Your purpose keeps calling. And so if there's anyone who's like, listen, I think it's time that I transition. I need to be very transparent and very honest with you in telling you what some of the challenges that come with that are. Number one is financial uncertainty. The truth is, when you start out in your purpose-driven careers, you may not initially have the same level of financial stability as before. And there are strategies on how we can deal with that. I'll talk about it very soon. Number two, lack of clarity. A lot of times people want to pursue something that has meaning. They want to pivot into a career that really speaks to who they are at their core, their essence, right? They want to engage their core and who they are. But the problem is that they don't know how to identify what their purpose is, and furthermore, to align their purpose to a tradition and to a career. And that's the thing, right? They're like, I know I should be doing something, but I don't know what it is I should be doing. A lot of my clients have said to me, Mpumi, I came to you because at the beginning of this year, I said, Lord, I want to know what my purpose is. The question was, what am I here on this earth for? And that is a challenge. People don't really, there's lack of clarity around purpose and how they can align that to a career or a profession. The third thing is skills and qualifications. The truth is, the skills you currently have may not directly apply to the purpose you are created for, and therefore you will require new ones. I'm going to change your mind about that very, very soon, and you will love what I have to say. The third thing is that people are just risk averse. People are very risk averse. Don't mess with my pension fund. Don't mess with my benefits. Don't mess with my salary. Hey, please. And that comes with the fact that making the career transition is very intimidating. When you think about starting over and doing your own thing, you're just like, who do I think I am? Why do I think that'll be successful? There are a lot of questions that come with it, right? There's a fear of failure. I think I shared this on Tuesday. When I started out, people are like, aren't you afraid your business is going to fail? And I'm like, listen, I can't be afraid of failure because it's going to happen. And not that my business is going to fail, but there are times where I will do a launch and it fails. I want a number of people and only a fraction of those people come through. Where I put myself out there and I get a no. Where I put a proposal together, this happened a couple of months ago, put a proposal together and the business goes into a restructure. Where I am contacted to come and deliver a speech and then suddenly there's retrenchments and they are freezing on developments. These things happen. And so I said to myself, I'm not going to be afraid of it because it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. I will hear more no's than yeses. I will hit my head on a rock, or it will feel like I'm hitting my head on a rock. Not all launches will work out. Not all strategies will work out. Some things are going to fail. But this thing, this career, this profession, that's the thing that's not going to fail. Why? Because it is based on what I was created to do. It is based on my design, my makeup. It is the very reason that I've been put on this earth. So I can't fail at the very thing that I was created to do. It's like a chair. And you make a chair and you're like, ooh, the chair's there. It's perfect. And you're like, is this chair going to work? Did you create for the chair to work? Did you put all the pieces together for the chair to work? And that's exactly what it's going to do. I'm sitting on a chair right now and it hasn't failed me not even once because the chair was meant for that. But if I want to be stubborn and I want to put all of my weight on top of the chair, climb on this chair and want to get something, if that chair fails, it's because I'm using it incorrectly, right? So I don't have a fear of failure because certain things may fail and I'll have to readjust and rework, but my purpose, my work will never fail because this is what I was designed for. This is what I was meant to do with my life. When God thought of, let's put this personality and these traits and this mindset or a way of thinking and this EQ and this IQ and this and that and that and that, let's put her in this situation as a child. Let's make sure that she goes to these certain schools. Let's put her in this career. Let's expose her to this. All of these things played a role in what my purpose is. So I can't fail at what I was created to do. I can't fail at the makeup, at using the makeup that I was meant to use. You know what I mean? And that's the case with you as well. Now I'm even skipping. I'm going ahead of myself. Risk aversion. Okay. The next thing, the next challenge is resistance from others. We spoke initially about why people pursue traditional careers. And now when you decide to transition, the risk there might be that you may not get support and understanding from your friends and your family. I remember when I told my family that I am leaving my job. They were so scared. And not that they don't support me. Not that they don't understand what I was trying to do, but it was very scary. And I understand, right? So when somebody has been earning a salary for 6 years, the idea of them starting over and going their own path and relying on everything that God put inside of them to work out, it's very, very scary. So some families just don't support their people. Some friends just don't know how to support. And sometimes it's not that they don't want to, they don't know how to. I remember when I left my job, I was telling a friend of mine, Witsi, very rarely do you ask me how entrepreneurship is going. And I'm not mad at you because you don't even know to ask the question. You don't even know to find out if I need anything. You're not an entrepreneur, and so it doesn't even occur to you. And so it's not that they don't want to at times, it's that it doesn't even come to them. They don't know, right? And for a lot of people, this can really be emotionally taxing, and that's why they just don't make the transition. And finally, and this one I was thinking about a lot. I've been thinking about this a lot, right? And the biggest challenge, I think, for a lot of professionals is the fixed and standard job roles. For those who don't want to be entrepreneurs, who don't want to start an NPO, who don't feel like they're creative, and maybe they aren't creative, but they're more left brain dominant, meaning they're analytical and they're logical, right? And those who don't want to go into full-time ministry. So the challenge is that you have these corporations, you have these constructs that have fixed roles and fixed positions, standard positions. Do you want to be a manager or not? Do you want to be an analyst or not? I remember when I was having the conversation to move from product development to people and culture, the lady who was the HR business partner, I think, or the head of people and culture said to me, we see how you're very passionate about this and you do it so well, but we don't have a vacancy. And I sat and I thought, there's such a fixed mindset around corporate roles and corporate job functions that the only reason you put someone there is because there's a vacancy and not because there is a need that that person can solve. As well as that, when I left the bank and I had my exit interview, I remember speaking to the lady and she was like, hey, so if, no, it was after the exit interview, like if we were to want you back into the bank, what would you come and do? And I appreciated that question so much because the answer was, I would come into the bank as a purpose alignment strategist. Because that is the work that I do. That is the work that I excel at. I don't need a vacancy. You have a need. And the need is that there is talent bleed. There is profit drain. There is a cost that comes with people not being in roles and positions that are aligned to their purpose. And my function, my purpose is to solve for that. To highlight these costs, these atrocious costs that you don't even realize. And once they are addressed, then take your employees and your talent on a journey to then be in those positions. So we help them discover their purpose in the organization. We put them in those positions that align to their purpose. And guess what? You get to retain your top talent. Guess what? You see more profits because now these people are creative. They are innovative. They are motivated. They feel a sense of fulfillment and a sense of accomplishment because they are doing exactly what they were created for. And I'm mentioning this because when I started my business, right, I worked with one-on-one clients and like in a group coaching program, these professionals from different organizations and different industries. But what I'm realizing is that I will empower these individuals, and then some of them realize I'm meant for corporate, but they'll go into a corporate structure that is not accommodative of who they are. And so I am partnering with such an amazing company to do the work that I'm doing. And I am also going on in my own capacity, in my own business, into these organizations to give my signature talk and my signature program, because I want to make sure that for those of my clients who are meant for corporates, they go into a field that is ready for them because I've done the work. And I'm so excited about this because what I do on the left, I should do on the right, right? It's like empowering women and not dealing with the situation in organizations that don't advance the cause of women or that still ignore the gender pay gap and stuff like that. So as we empower women, we need to make sure that these organizations are also accommodative of these empowered women. And so that is the work that I'm doing now. And I'm saying this also because, guys, in October, November, December, I am taking a new cohort on my program, Purpose to Profession. And so between this week and next week, I'm enrolling new students into the program. And I'm mentioning this because this might be the last time that I'm doing these with individuals, and I'll tell you why later. And because I'm moving to doing this on a bigger scale for organizations, right? So anyone who's like, Mpumi, dude, I need to know what my purpose is. I need to get out of the mindset and out of the rut of a traditional career and actually step into a purpose driven and a purpose based career and profession. You ought to be in my program, okay? But I'll talk about it a bit later before I end. So that's the thing, right? The fixed and standard roles in organizations. The fact that people will discover their purpose, but they feel like there's no home for their purpose in organization. That is what needs to be fixed, and I am fixing it. Okay, some strategies now. I've mentioned the challenges. Let's talk about strategies. Strategy number one, for that financial uncertainty, it's financial planning. Financial planning. You have to save. You have to save, because when you make that transition, you're not like, I don't have money. You have to save. You have to budget. And you have to have an emergency fund. And what helps with this is to while you are doing your job, have some, freelance work and consulting on the side, or part-time work, just so that you can beef up those savings, and just so that you can make more money, make more money, so that when you make the transition, it's not a problem. Number two is to clarify your purpose. So for those who are like, yeah, there's a lack of clarity, I don't want to move, get clear on what your purpose is. You have a purpose alignment strategist in me. Why would you not get clear on your purpose? Tell me now. Get a coach. Get a coach. Get plugged into a program. The next thing is skills development. And while I'm talking about purpose to profession, which is my program, right? So I do this thing in the first phase of the program, in the first month of the program, where I make all my clients do a skills audit. So you take a look at all the skills you've acquired all these years, right? In all the jobs you've done, all the skills you've acquired. And then we narrow it down, we filter it down to what skills do you actually love to use. So if you are skilled in Excel and you don't like it, and you develop the skill of selling, we narrow down to what are the skills that you actually love to enjoy doing. And then we further narrow it down and we filter it to what are the skills that people are willing to pay for. And those skills are the ones that we now use in your purpose-driven career. Nothing goes to waste. You see, nothing goes to waste. So I make sure that we do a skills audit. The second thing I make sure all my clients do is a gifts test. So they get to see their primary gifts and their secondary gifts. And thirdly, I make all my clients go through a strengths assessment where they get their 5 core strengths. And I show them ways on how they can turn these 5 strengths into streams of income. Because nothing should go to waste, you guys. Nothing at all. And so the skills development, don't even be afraid. We'll see, the skills for my purpose, I don't have them, I need them. Your gifts are what God has given you to enable you for your purpose. Your strengths are the things that have been built over time by the experiences at work, at home, in other places that you interact with. They've been built in you, and you use those things to make sure that you are good at your purpose-driven career. And your skills that have come with your experience, and you have to embrace them and make use of them. All right, so as far as skills development is concerned, you already have everything in you that you need. You just need to know how to channel it. You just need to know how it applies to your purpose-driven or purpose-based career. The next thing you need to do is networking. Starting small. When I got wind of what my purpose was, when I discovered my purpose and I established a business from it, it was only 3 years when I left my job. 2020, I started off with my first clients. 2021, 2022, in 2023, I was like, I can do this full time. And so you have to start small. Start it as a side hustle, as a part-time thing. And what this allows you to do is to test the waters, right? You can test the waters and see what works, what doesn't work, what messaging resonates, who are my ideal clients, or what is the thing that I need to be doing. You're able to test the waters and build experience. The next thing you need to do is network. What networking does is that it helps you to find the people who are in a field that is aligned to your purpose. in a field that is aligned to your purpose. So you're able to collaborate with them, to rub shoulders with them, to share your insights and have them share their insights with you. And here's the thing, people want mentors, but they don't realize that mentorship is a two-way street. You give to your mentor just as much as they give to you. And it may feel like they are giving more to you, but you trust. If you can ease their burden, if you can give them insights into things that they don't think about, so they didn't see, it works like that as well. So go to events, go to conferences, go to online forums, tune into my show, because I will be giving you information each and every, well, Tuesday, I'm thinking about the Wednesday one, but Tuesday and Thursday definitely, and Wednesdays too. The next thing you need to do is coaching. Because what coaching does, I heard such a lovely thing. So guys, do you know the thing when you bring your money to the teller at a shop? What they do is they take your money and they put it under that blue light to verify if it's real or not. And then when they see the strip, they say, okay, this is genuine money. What coaching does is that it exposes you to that strip. I don't give people, I don't assign purpose to people. I'm not gonna say, this is your purpose. This is the profession. No. I take you on a journey where you uncover yourself, where you discover yourself, where you learn about yourself, and I facilitate that conversation between you and God, and I make sure that you are now clear on what your purpose is. I help you develop your purpose story. I help you develop your purpose statements. You do these tests of the things that are already in you. I just help you connect the dots and draw the lines, and I interpret to you what your results mean, and I am able to give you ideas and stuff. And then after that is done, we go on to the profession thing. I don't say do a business. Okay, you don't do. Start a business. I don't say that. I say, based on what you know about yourself, based on who you're called to serve, based on where God is leading you, what is the best avenue? Is it a corporate career? Is it a government role? Where will you have the most impact? What is the work that you need to do, and where will it have the most resonance, right? I don't make those decisions. So I don't give you power. I expose you to your power. Just like that blue light exposes the strip, that is what I do as a coach. I say, have you considered this about yourself? Do you know this about yourself? Can you see this? Can you see what you've already done? Can you see where you can go with this? And so getting a coach allows for that, right? Serena Williams is a brilliant tennis player now because she had somebody who said, do you know what you can do with those arms? Have you seen how when you do this, because they observe, they watch, right? They listen, and they're able to see, actually, because you're so heavy-footed on the left, because, you know, this is what you can, that's the value of having a coach. They expose you to your power. So get a coach. It's very, very important. Get a coach. It's very, very important. And I want to talk about myself a little as a coach, right? One of my gifts is the gift of wisdom. I am able to take basic knowledge and turn it into something that is practical and useful for everyday life. And I've seen myself excel at this where the Bible is concerned. People read the Bible and they're like, oh, what a story. I read the Bible and I share the Bible, and people are just like, which verse? Oh, I didn't see that verse, because I've got the gift of wisdom. I take knowledge and I transform it into something practical and useful. One of my strengths that I'm a developer, I mentioned earlier that I function strongly in a role where I can develop people and be developed. The fact that I can take someone from a struggling, stuck, miserable professional to being somebody who can stand in front of people and pitch their business and have the confidence to leave their job and do something else, to be an author, to be a speaker, to be all those things. Ciao. And one of my skills that I'm a coach, I told you that I got trained as a coach. And I ask so many questions. So a coach is somebody, it will never tell you what to do. They will ask you questions and you will decide from your responses, because everyone is innately brilliant and smart, right? So what a coach then does is that as a coach, everyone who is in my life knows that I ask questions for days. I ask a lot of questions, uncomfortable questions, nice questions, but every time people give responses, they're like, I never thought about it like that. I didn't see it like that. And so you need a coach who's going to ask you all sorts of questions just so you can come to the answers that you need. The last couple of things you need to do is embrace failure and learn. I told you before that I'm ready for things to fail, because what that allows me to do is to learn. Lira was being interviewed by Mbonane at an event in August, at the end of August, and Lira said something so profound. She was talking about her stroke and how she didn't die from that. And Lira said, if something didn't come to kill you, it came to teach you. And so you always have, if you are alive, you always have to ask that question. What was this thing here to teach me? If something doesn't kill you, it's there to teach you. And so you will fail. But what is that failure trying to teach you? That is what you should focus on. Seek support. Surround yourself with the community of like-minded people and people who are on a similar journey to you. The second last thing is build a portfolio, you guys. Showcase what you're good at. Let people see what you're great at. I am a speaker, and the reason I'm doing these lives is two-pronged. Number one, because I've got valuable information to share, and I want people to get that information and change their own lives and their own careers. But secondly, because I'm a speaker. So if I'm a speaker, I have to speak. And this is how I'm speaking, right? So I can't say, oh, I'm a speaker, and people are like, oh, where do you speak at an event? How are people going to know about me if I don't put myself out there? This is me building a portfolio. Three days in a week, I'm talking to you and I'm delivering information. How is that not going to attract opportunities? So if you're like, in my heart of hearts, I want to do this, just start doing it. Let's see you do it. If you say, oh, I love helping people tell great stories, help them. Start doing the thing. So build a portfolio, build a profile, so that people can see what you are brilliant at, and then give you the opportunities where you can even excel and get bigger in what you're doing, okay? And finally, stay adaptable. The only constant thing in life is change. Things change all the time. So you have got to be adaptable. One thing I love saying is that we only have one purpose in life. Everyone is here for one purpose. And that shouldn't constrict you or make you feel like, yo, so I'll be doing one thing forever, I'm going to be bored. No. Your purpose evolves. You evolve. It takes shape based on what is relevant in that season and what the world needs in that season. So I was really here to tell you the differences between a traditional career and a purpose-based career, and also highlights the real challenges that come with transitioning from a traditional career to a purpose-based career, and finally how to then strategize in order to mitigate those challenges and to thrive in your purpose-based career. Again, the month of October, November, December, and obviously before I'm a holiday, because my best friend is getting married, and so I will be gone in that final week of December, celebrating my friend. But before then, before we go into festive mood, August, November, December, I am taking a group of professionals through my signature program, Purpose to Profession. And we will be, in those 3 months, helping you discover your purpose, aligning that purpose to profession, making sure that you thrive in that profession, putting together a content plan for you, how you will come out there on LinkedIn, which is online and offline when you go to these networking events, how you can, all the ways to build a personal brand around you, professional brand around you. Make sure that you are thriving, you are making good money, you are loving the work that you're doing, you're just so good at it. And then come next year, we will watch as you get your awards and you get your accolades and you're celebrated for doing a good job. That's happening in October, November, December. But it's not happening without you. So in the show description, I'm going to leave a link, and that link will take you to the page where you can learn everything about Purpose to Profession, and then book a discovery call with me so that we can discuss exactly what you want out of the program, where you are, how I can help you, get onto the nitty-gritties, we sign you up into the program, and October, Haba, Shwe, Ziyasha, October, November, December. So you start the year off on the best foot. You can never start it off. Thank you for joining the program, the show. But also thank you for joining the program. Now faith is the evidence of things hoped for, the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things unseen. I'm already talking about the program because I know you'll sign up for the program. But anyway, I love you guys. And I know that I love you because I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't. I'd just be enjoying my career and living my best life. But I want you to also be in a career that fulfills you, a career through which you make positive impact, and a career that gives you good money and sees you building generational wealth. Thank you so much for tuning in to the third episode and the final episode for this week of the Mpumi Show. I hope that you were edified. I hope that you learned, and I hope that you are going to commit to ditching the traditional career and coming on over to the side of purpose and meaning and positivity and all things good. I will see you next Tuesday. Love you loads. Bye guys. Let's pray. Because my mom is on here and she's going to be like, Awuthandazana again. Let's pray. Thank you, Lord, for the opportunities that we have to edify one another, to help each other grow, and to give to each other what you've given to us, dear God. I'm praying for everyone who joined this live, whether from the start to the end or joined sporadically here and there when they could. I pray for each of them, dear God, that you may give them what they need. And I don't know why they came here. They came here for different reasons, but give them what they need. If it is resources to be in the program and to see themselves coming on to a purpose-based profession, give them those resources. If they need wisdom and clarity and understanding, whatever it is that they need, Lord, give it to them. I pray that you may help us to have an amazing weekend. It's a long weekend. Everybody is going to be having fun wherever. I pray for our safety. I pray for our protection. And I pray, dear God, that we don't lose who we are. And I pray that we don't even lose our lives. Not if you still got a purpose for us, dear God. Thank you for everything. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. It was great hosting you guys. Bye. Awesome. Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I'll see you on Tuesday. Bye. All right. Where do I end the stream? On YouTube. YouTube. Okay, I think it's here.